Let's get back to the present day. We have the Tata Steel tournament. Anish stealing pawns. Anish taking my job as an interviewer as well. A lot of things are happening. And of course, Hans is in the mix as well in the challengers group. So let's talk about that. First time in a long time, I guess, in a big tournament in which both world champions, the women's world champion and the open world champion, are playing in the same event. Ju Jun and Ding Liren. What's your take on that? How do you gauge Ju Jun's performance up to this point? Is she rising to the expectations?
Okay, so let's see the standing. So far it's after 10 rounds. So they have three more left.
Yes.
Murderbeck and Gukesh tied for the lead
Yes.
with +3. Is that, I think I'm reading that correctly.
6.5 out of how many rounds so far?
So it's +3.
+3 out of 10, I guess. Yeah.
And yeah, Wenjun, so obviously women's world champion. She beat Fuja in this tournament, probably her biggest win, I would say,
Yeah.
in her career, highest rated by at least if we're measuring it by rating. And she's currently on 4 out of 10. So okay, she's the world champion, right?
-2. Yeah, that's not that
She's not
bad
a
actually.
she's not a new name. It's like we know that she's very strong. She's even been quite significantly higher rated than she is now.
I would say
She's
she's
been around.
very underrated right now.
Well, yeah, there is this whole like deflation thing, so it's hard to judge, right? Because everyone's going down, and it seems like the whole kind of chess ecosystem has gone down in rating.
Mm-hmm.
But she was at some point, I think, like 2610
Yep.
around there, and now she's 2549. Okay, so big win against Perugia. I think that she could have today. She could have maybe beaten Parham. She was kind of close, but okay, it ended in a draw. So overall, it's pretty good. Like she's obviously going to struggle in this field. I mean, she's very much lower rated than most players. She's only like kind of close to, let's say, Max Warmerdam,
Mm-hmm.
but many players she's around 200 points lower rated, so she's going to struggle. But -2 is not like a huge struggle. It's a respectable result. It's also the same exact result that Ding Liren has.
Yep. And Max Warmerdar. So I think she's gaining some rating points. So definitely overperforming for her rating in this one.
Okay, but Max, I mean, if we're
Oh
being honest
man.
here, the guy is probably very upset with his result
Oh my
because
goodness.
if we just rewind like 26 hours, I don't know
Yeah.
exactly how many hours, but let's say 26,
Yeah.
he was on 50% and he was absolutely about to beat Parham.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have put him +1, a half point out of the lead. And he lost that game because he blundered Rook C8, I assume, and it went from basically winning to losing within the span of 2 moves. So that was kind of tragic. And
Mm-hmm.
then today, the exact same story repeated. He was totally beating Noterbeck. And if he had won, he would be back on 50%. But he lost both those games from winning positions. If he had won both, he would be like half a point out of the lead,
Mm-hmm.
tied with Anish, tied with Prague. And instead, he's -2 and he's near the bottom.
Yeah.
So that just shows how fine the line is between a good tournament and a disappointing one.
No, absolutely. And he's actually been playing great chess. I mean, obviously, he's done a lot of preparation for this event, but it's those slim margins that always make a huge difference, whether you have a good or a bad tournament. And things are just simply not going his way in this one.